I suppose you've read the title of the video and are either intrigued or disgusted, but just hear me out here. Let's say that, hypothetically, you have no friends. Now, for the sake of argument, let's say that you have a fascination with insects. Let's even say that you don't mind not having friends, since insects are enough for you. Right. Then, in this scenario, it would make sense that you wish to be able to befriend them. Then it will be safe to assume that you get aroused by mantises. Now, with all of this in mind, it wouldn't be an outlandish idea that once you grow into an old man of science and develop a way to communicate and mate with insects, you'd want to send them back to the younger you to fulfill that wish. Right? That person is Kayumi Andri, a certified weirdo, and one day, a girl claiming to be an insectoid from the future, a Konchuki named Okamakiri, appeared in his room, asking to make babies. You know, everyday stuff. Of course, he thinks she's crazy, but what else can you do? So they get to it. She asks him to do it slowly, but Andri can't control himself. Thanks to this, she enters battle mode, which only makes him even more aroused. Now, she's a mantis girl, so there's a protocol, which he completely ignores, and he dies. He's dead. But that won't stop him. Or well, not completely. So she keeps going, but just when she's getting into it, his underage friend, who is in love with him, surprise, Konui Kosue, appears to console him after they made fun of him after school. She sees her getting into it, so naturally, she hits her with a table. Of course, Makari is a mantis girl, so she takes it like a champ and enters battle mode with the intention of smoking her for interrupting them. And they start fighting, in the name of love, or, well, Andri's virginity. But just as this is happening, he wakes up. Trying to stop them, he gets in the way and he dies. The end. Or it felt like it, for like 3 months when it was releasing. Anyways, chapter 3. He's still alive, somehow, and he goes to school as usual. Except that Okamakiri enrolls to his class, much to Kosue's chagrin. And she's not the only one that she has to worry about, since she's not the only Konchuki at school. There's also the spider teacher or the bee butterfly. There are 7 in total, and they all want his babies. So after trying to solve this in a civil way, they decide to do a tournament to marry him. The Kom Rail War. Yeah, you can kind of get what kind of manga this is, which might make you ask yourself, who in the right mind would read this? What kind of degenerate would enjoy this? What's the target audience? It's me, I'm the target audience. Now, if you haven't closed this video in pure disgust and are still here, let me tell you a bit more about it. The name of this manga is Konchuki, and as you might imagine from the synopsis that I gave you, the story of this manga is something. It certainly is unique, and it isn't very long either, so what I told you sums it up pretty nicely. Of course, there's more to it, like the usual time shenanigans and a couple little plot twists, but aside from that, there's not much else. The characters don't get much screen or page time, if that's a term, but they manage to show their personalities pretty nicely. There's not much depth there, but a cool thing about them is that, as I said in the synopsis, they're all insect girls, each based on a different one, each with their personalities, fighting styles, behaviors, and mating rituals based on the species they are. So it's a pretty cool manga for some cool bug facts. But we both know that's not what we are here for. Which takes me to their designs, and honestly the art in general, because, oh boy, certainly the highlight of the manga. I really like it, so let's start with the designs. Each girl has a normal and bottom mode forms. When in their normal form, most of the time they are naked. Even with that, I find their designs to be very appealing. They have antennae or something reminiscent of their species on their head, and I like their hairstyles. And let's just say that Sunta, the artist, really knows how to draw appealing bodies. Can't show you much, so just take my word for it. In regards to the battle mode form, all horniness aside, they are really damn cool. My favorites being the cicada and the two beetles, but all of them are really cool. I just think exoskeletons are cool as shit, even if they only cover the vulva. And it's cool to see them fight, even if there aren't that many battles, because you see, it's not quite a battle tournament, more like a, I don't know, whatever this is, so you know what to expect. That's also very well drawn, by the way. The manga is finished with 2 volumes and 9 chapters, with a complete unofficial English translation, of pretty good quality, might I add, but as I mentioned earlier, it is quite short, which I find a bit unfortunate. 1 or 2 volumes more would have been very nice. It had a bit of an open ending, but it made sense that it ended the way it did. It's just that it felt like halfway it decided to shorten its run and introduce like 4 insect girls at once. I just hope that someday they make a sequel or something. The artist and writer are currently working on other series, but I'm in Kendra. Now, speaking of the artist and the writer, let's start with the writer, Murata Shinya, whose field of expertise seems to be insect girls or animal girls in general. His works being Arachnid, its spin-off Caterpillar, and its sequel Battloria, Hymenopsia, among others. Now, you may not recognize those works or the name of the writer, but there's a good chance you've at least heard of Killing Bites, his most popular work, that even got an anime adaptation in 2018, and it's been on my watchlist ever since. I'll get to it eventually. All of this to say, if you like animal girls or insect girls, check this guy's works. Now the artist, Sunta. You will never guess what he started with, which is a great way to start in the industry, if you couldn't tell. Now, aside from the numbered works, he's also worked on Dragon's Crown manga, Valkyrie Drive manga, and was part of a Persona 5 anthology manga, among other works, but is more well known for his most recent ongoing work, Tensei Colosseum, or Reincarnation Colosseum, which I haven't read, but I've seen a screenshot and it seems nice. He's a pretty decent artist, check this guy's work too. Anyways, it's a pretty cool manga. Read it if you're a degenerate like me. If you still want more, Nakamura Regura. That's it. See ya. I hope this one doesn't get the copyright claim. The Beetle Girls are the best, by the way.
La madre, güey.